I have to hit more fairways. I am convinced that all of my bad rounds are due to bad tee shots. So in today's video, I am going to dive deep into my strategy off the tee, and I'm going to come up with an ironclad set of rules that are going to help me hit more fairways. I want to be able to use these set of rules on any golf course I go to. And more importantly, I want these set of rules to be something you guys at home can use as well. We all need to hit more fairways to lower our scores. And I'm hoping that this video is going to help you guys do that as well. Not only am I going to set up a new tee shot strategy for myself, but I'm also going to put it to the test around one of the UK's hardest golf courses, the Hotchkin Course at Woodhall Spa, the home of England golf. Enough talking. Let's hit more fairways. Before we can come up with a new strategy and a new set of rules for our tee shots, we need to understand what our shot patterns are like with every club that we use off the tee. If we know what the golf ball is going to do after we've hit it, then we can come up with a strategy that keeps us out of trouble. And if we can stay out of trouble, we can hit more greens and we can lower our handicap. These are the 4 golf clubs I usually hit off the tee. We've got the driver, which is the Callaway AI Smoke Triple Diamond. We've got a 3-wood, which is the TaylorMade Sim Max. We've got a 5-wood, which is the TaylorMade Stealth Plus, and we've got a trusty 5-iron. Now, depending on how I'm feeling on any given tee shot, I will use one of these 4 clubs. But the whole point of this video is to take feeling out of the equation. I need to know which one of these golf clubs is going to give me the best chance of hitting the fairway and the best chance of hitting the green in regulation. Now, to get a good understanding of my shot patterns, I need to gather some data here in the simulator. So I'm going to hit 20 shots with each golf club here in the simulator and gather all of the data I need. As always, I'm using the FlightScope Mevo Plus to gather all this data, but you don't need a home golf simulator or even a launch monitor to be able to gather this data. If you have access to a Top Tracer driving range or a TrackMan driving range, then you have all the tools you need to be able to do exactly what I'm doing today. As always, I'm not going to bore you with all of these shots. I'm going to crack on, gather my data, and I'll catch up with you in a second for the next part of this video. Okay, that's the data collected, and to get a good picture of what my tee shots actually look like, I've looked at 5 different data points. We've got average carry, highest carry, lowest carry, and then we've got the width of our dispersion as well as what is the average miss from our target line. Now, already all of this data collection has highlighted some glaring issues with my current tee shot strategy. On screen now are all of the numbers I've collected today, and like I said earlier, these are numbers that you can collect down any driving range that has ball tracking technology. So there is no reason why you guys can't do this experiment along with me. Anyway, the biggest glaring issue I've learned from this so far is that my 5-iron misses a long way left. I opt for the 5-iron off the tee to guarantee myself of hitting a fairway, and it's arguably the worst club in my bag to actually achieve that. That might be a little bit dramatic. It does actually have the narrowest dispersion left and right, but I do actually have to make sure I aim in the right place to achieve that dispersion on a fairway. If I aim straight with that 5-iron with that 9-yard miss, I'm effectively halving the size of the fairway. And now that I actually know how far I missed with my 5-iron, I can utilize that and make sure I do actually hit fairways with it. Already this data is helping me hit more fairways. Ironically, the only club I can actually aim straight with is the driver. Don't get me wrong, it's got a pretty wide dispersion. I might have to rethink a few tee shots with that in mind, but overall it's a pretty straight club for me. If I can combine where I need to aim with each club with how far they actually carry, then I can start navigating my way around the golf course and avoid trouble. For example, if there's a fairway bunker at 200 yards, I need to make sure that I'm hitting a 5-wood at least to be able to carry that bunker. Even though this data says that if I hit a 5-iron, I might be able to carry it, the data also suggests that every so often I'm actually going to go into that bunker if I use my 5-iron. On top of that, if the fairway actually runs out at 270 yards, I need to make sure I'm using less than a driver off that tee box. I mean, depending on how firm the course is playing, I might even need to hit a 5-wood. This process is already really eye-opening to me, but we can actually take it a step further. Now that we have the shot patterns, we can give ourselves a set of rules to abide by to make sure that we hit more fairways out on the course. These rules aren't going to be simply aim for the fat part of the fairway. We know from data collected on things like ShotScope, Arcos, and even the PGA Tour that being closer to the hole but in the rough can be an advantage over being further back, but in the fairway. With all that said though, we do need to make sure that we're staying out of trouble. We need to make sure that we've got a shot at the green in regulation in order to score lower. So let's bear that in mind when we're coming up with this tee shot strategy. I've come up with 5 different rules I need to stick to be able to hit more fairways, and I'm going to put these 5 rules to the test next up in this video. Before we head over to Woodhall Spa, here are the 5 rules that I'm going to stick to. Rule number 1, never hit driver with trouble narrower than 45 yards. When I say trouble, I don't just mean out of bounds on water, I mean trees and deep rough. It's so important to make sure that we've got a shot at the green in regulation. If we have to chip out sideways from trees, or if we can't reach the green because of the deep rough, then that is a recipe for double bogeys, and double bogeys are the bane of my life right now. Now that's a fairly black and white rule number 1, and hopefully it gives me more of a chance of hitting some greens in regulation. Rule number 2, always carry trouble by a minimum of 5 yards. If we use the low range of our carry numbers for this rule, then in theory, we should never be in fairway bunkers and we should always be able to carry the trouble. Unless we hit a below average shot, like a fat or a thin, which we all know we're all capable of. We do still have to hit the ball fairly well for these rules to actually work. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Rule number 3, always club down if you can roll into trouble. This one might be a little bit difficult to judge from time to time. Different grasses affect rollout, weather affects rollout, the direction that the fairway has been mowed affects rollout. But we can all take an educated guess as to how that ball is reacting on the fairways on any given day. And we need to factor that into our club choices off the tee. Never roll into trouble. And again, my definition of trouble is anything that's going to stop you from going for the green in regulation. Out of bounds, water, trees, or even long rough. Stay out of all of that trouble. And that brings me on to rule number 4. Always aim 10 yards away from penalty areas. Penalty shots off the tee are real handicap killers. Even if it means bringing some trouble into play on the other side, you always have to aim away from out of bounds and water at all costs. Penalty shots off the tee, again, is a recipe for double bogeys. But giving ourselves a 10-yard buffer on top of our dispersion should help us stay away from these penalty shots. Let's have a look at the final rule. Rule number 5, never have doubt, always commit to the shot. There will be times where these rules sort of contradict themselves. Maybe there's trouble that needs to be carried with a driver, but at the same time, it might be too narrow for the driver. In these sorts of scenarios, you're faced with no option but to hit driver. And in those situations, you just have to commit and go with it. If you can commit, you're more likely to hit a good tee shot. So there are 5 rules that should help me hit more fairways, stay out of trouble, and hit more greens in regulation. And if I can do all 3 of those things, then I should be able to lower my scores and lower my handicap. But that's all well good on paper. The proof is in the pudding. How do these rules actually perform out on the golf course? Let's head over to Woodhall Spa and find out. Now, the Hotchkin Course at Woodhall Spa is notoriously difficult. Albeit one of the most beautiful golf courses in the world, it is known as being one of the UK's hardest golf courses. I think the way I hit a few of these tee shots will show you exactly how difficult this is, and next week's course vlog will show you how badly I'm actually playing golf at the moment. But let's see how well these rules stand up against the hardest golf course in the UK.
Yeah, that's too far left, I think. Jesus Christ. Come on, wind. It's a bit left of where I was aiming. Bit off the toe and a bit right. My God, what am I doing to do that? Is 80 yards left. Bit left where I was aiming, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Ooh, that was a tough round of golf, guys. Considering this video is all about hitting more fairways, I really struggled to hit fairways. I'm really not playing my best golf at the moment. I'm not even playing my average golf at the moment. I'm working on some things at the moment that especially reared their heads in this video. But with all that said, did my new tee shot strategy help me hit more fairways? Here are all of the results. So we hit 7 out of 15 fairways. We had 8 out of 15 clear shots at the green, but we only managed to hit 3 out of 15 greens from these tee shots. I think the golf course played a part in a lot of these results, but also my huge left miss. 7 out of 15 fairways doesn't sound like a lot, but that's actually a higher percentage than I'm averaging at the moment. Right now, I'm averaging just above 40% fairways hit. And if you take into account that my swing problems at the moment are mainly affecting my irons, perhaps when that's fixed, then the 5-iron that I take off the tee will actually hit the fairway instead of putting me in a huge amount of trouble like it did today.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So did my new tee shot strategy actually work? I might be biased when I say this, but I actually think it did. I felt like I played really badly today, but actually scored okay. You'll be able to watch how the whole round unfolded in next week's course vlog. But before I can fully judge this new tee shot strategy, I need to be playing better golf and I need to play a lot more rounds of golf. But it's showing signs that this could really help me hit more fairways. More importantly though, can this video help you hit more fairways? I think if you took the steps that I took at the start of this video and gathered some information about your shot patterns with your tee clubs, then it can definitely help you hit more fairways. But I want to hear from you guys. I want you to get in the comments and let me know if this video has been helpful, if you're going to give this process a go, and after you've played a few rounds of golf, come back to this video and let me know if it's worked. I reply to every single comment on my video, so I want to hear from you and I want to chat and I want to tell you if this tee shot strategy is helping me as well. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and I will see you next week for the course vlog around Woodhall Spa. Thanks for watching.